Hey everybody, welcome back to Making Stuff with Stuff. It's me, Miss Tish. I am super glad that you have tuned in, and I want to wish you a happy, awesome Monday. And I hope that your week is starting out wonderful, because mine sure is. I'm back at my house. I have Thaddeus over here taking a nap on the couch. Roxy is somewhere, probably taking a nap on the floor. But first, let's talk about birds. Did you know that you can go to college to study something called ornithology? It's the scientific study of birds. You can be something called an ornithologist. That would be pretty neat. I am not an ornithologist. I just like to see birds when they come to visit me in my garden outside. Maybe one of these days I can take you out there to show you all the things that I have planting and growing. I'm pretty excited about it. Before we talk about my favorite bird, let's talk about some other birds that didn't quite make the cut as my favorite. There are hundreds of birds all over the world, on every continent, in everyone's backyard. And a bird that you might see often is this guy, the northern cardinal. He's one of the most familiar and easily recognizable birds in North America. They're found throughout eastern, central, and southwestern United States, as well as in eastern Mexico and as far south as Guatemala and Belize. Let's look at my globe here so we can see where those countries are. So here we have North America, and then we have Mexico here in orange. Right down here by Mexico in the yellow is Guatemala, and right next to Guatemala in the purple is Belize. My neighbor, his name is John, he's from Guatemala. I think that's pretty cool. One other thing that I found cool about the northern cardinal is that it is the state bird of 7 different states. Let me show you that bird again. Those states are Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. You might see this bird often in your yard too. The blue jay. Who doesn't love a blue jay? He's very pretty. Did you know that a blue jay has a wingspan of 13 to 17 inches? That is longer than this ruler, my friends. A ruler has 12 inches. The blue jay flies at speeds of 20 to 25 miles an hour, which is kind of slow for a bird. For example, a duck can fly 60 miles per hour. One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I did not know before this, and I'm just like, wow, kind of mind blown, is a blue jay really isn't blue. And you're like, Miss Tish, look at that picture. He's clearly blue. But his feathers are actually brown. But we see blue because of a thing called refraction. We're not going to get into refraction today. Maybe we'll save that for another day. But he's not really blue. He's brown. Very tricky. The third bird that you might see very often in your backyard or around town is the American robin. They make their nest for each clutch of eggs, a new one for each clutch of eggs, and that has 2 to 3 clutches of eggs every season. Their clutches of eggs consist of 3 to 5 light blue colored eggs, a very pretty color. They have a really good eyesight that they use to find worms in the dirt. I don't have very good eyesight. That's why I have to wear these glasses. If I don't have my glasses on, I can't see anything. It's very blurry. So I think it's really, really awesome that the robin can see all these worms wiggling around in the dirt. There are lots of worms in my garden, by the way. They're big. Like the other day, I found one that was this long. That is a very big worm. Let's talk about the Baltimore Oriole. You might not see this bird unless you live in the eastern United States, because that's where they spend a lot of their time in the summer, is eastern United States. And in the winter, they migrate to neotropical climates like Florida and South America. One fun fact, and you probably know this, there's a baseball team, a Major League Baseball team named after the Baltimore Oriole. Cool. Let's talk flamingos. You've probably seen a flamingo at the zoo. They're very pretty, very pink, adorable animals. The flamingo are actually, there are 6 different species of flamingos. I didn't know that. They kind of look different, but it takes probably an ornithologist to tell them apart. The feathers of a flamingo are pink because of the food that they eat, which I knew that, and you probably know that too. But did you know that the feathers under their wings on the underside are actually black? I didn't know that. You can only see this when they're flying, and I've never seen a flamingo fly before. The last bird I want to talk about before we get to my favorite bird is this majestic creature, the peregrine falcon. Look at that guy. Peregrine falcons are the most common birds of prey, and they live on all continents except for Antarctica. That's 6 different continents. There are 7 continents total, and they live on 6 of them. So that's Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, and Antarctica. Nope, just kidding. Australia. Almost said Antarctica. Almost got me. They, the peregrine falcon, are the fastest bird in the world. They can dive at 200 miles per hour, and that's a really fast dive. We can't even drive that fast. I wouldn't want to if I could either. That's scary. So let's talk about my favorite bird. My favorite bird used to be this guy, a penguin. He still kind of is my favorite. He's my second favorite bird because look, he's just so adorable and I love him. But my most favorite bird is a bird called, let me find that one, a killdeer. Not as scary as it sounds. A killdeer is a part of a family called the plovers. A plover is a short-billed wading bird that typically is found by water, but sometimes frequently in the grasslands, tundras, and sometimes in the mountains. A plover is kind of like a shorebird, like a seagull. But he's not a seagull, and he doesn't always live by water. Let me show you a picture of the killdeer. Look at this guy. He is so cute. He has all these beautiful rings around his neck. Look at that. He has these little knobby knees. That's so cute. So he has brown feathers on his back and some brown markings on his head. And he wears these beautiful black necklaces. He's a very fashionable guy. The killdeer likes to eat insects, snails, worms, and seeds. Lots of things that they can find on the ground. Now, they lay their eggs not in a nest that you would find in a tree or wherever you think you would normally find a nest like this guy. Look at that nest. This is a robin's nest. It was empty when I found it because remember we learned that they make a new nest for each clutch of eggs that they hatch. Look at that. There's some dirt in there, some grass, all kinds of things. Look very soft in there. They don't lay their eggs in nests like that. They actually lay their eggs on the ground in open gravel or in parking lots or driveways or in fields, backyards, or by train tracks in like this. Probably like, Miss Tish, it's just a bunch of rocks. It is. They make a little impression in those rocks and that's where they put their eggs. And it's very camouflage. Sometimes they'll put other rocks around them or sticks, things like that to help camouflage their eggs. And their eggs actually look like rocks. Can you find their eggs in this picture? Sometimes it's hard to see them, but you can see these ones because I blew it up a little bit. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 eggs. Let me put it back a little bit. Look at that. Kind of blends in really good with those rocks. I think that's pretty neat. I've encountered this bird twice in my life, once at the train museum and once out in the country. And both times it was really hard to find their eggs. I almost stepped on them and I was really nervous. So, here's their nest. Pretty cool. So, they do this really interesting thing, and it's probably what makes them one of my favorite birds, is since they lay their eggs on the ground and out in the open in some gravel, they have to protect them from predators and people because they're just out there and people can step on them. And it's really, really nerve-wracking for the bird. They do this thing where they pretend like they have a broken wing. So if you look at this picture of this bird, he has what looks like his broken wing. And he goes around, he runs around, and he makes noises, and he acts like his wing is broken, and he hops around like he can't fly to try to get predators or people to follow him, to help him, and to get away from his eggs. But he's always just out of reach, and he leads them away from his eggs to keep them safe. That's pretty cool. Both times I was like, oh, that poor bird, he's hurt. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's the same bird. Not the same exact bird, but the same type of bird who pretends like his wing is broken, but it's not really broken. Now let's look at a picture of their precious babies, because they're so cute and fuzzy. Look at this little guy. He's so cute. Killdeer chicks are not like other baby birds. Killdeer chicks hatch with a full coat of their down feathers, and they can walk out of the nest as soon as the feathers dry, and they start learning from their parents how to hunt for food. So other baby birds that live in nests like these ones, they're born and they don't have their feathers, and they just hang out in the nest, and their parents go and find food for them and bring it back to them and feed them. But this guy is very independent. He comes out of that nest and he's ready to go eat. And he learns from his mom and dad how to be safe on the ground. That's probably why he's one of my favorite birds, because all of the things we just talked about. So, what are we going to make today, Miss Tish? We're going to do a drawing of a killdeer. Let me move things out of the way here. What do we need for our drawing? We need some paper. You can use any kind of paper you have. This is just some copy paper that I got off my printer. And you need some drawing utensils like markers, crayons, colored pencils. You might use a pencil to do your first drawing of it, and then you can go over it with markers or colored pencils if you want. I'm just going to use a marker so that you can see better. And I'm going to use my giant drawing board so we can see. So I'm left-handed. I was born that way. If you're right-handed, that's awesome. If you're left-handed, that's even awesomer. They're both awesome. So let's draw a bird. So, what do you think we got to do first? First, we're going to draw a line. Get a nice line going. That's a really nice line. And then we're going to start at the end of the line that we just drew. And we're going to go down and kind of swoop up some, like this. Whoops. Put that out like that. Oh, I need to go out just a little bit further. So like this. And then we're going to keep going and make a head for our bird. Like that. And then we're going to keep going down and make a little swoop that goes like this. And we have his body. So we have a wing of the bird. We have his head. We have his body. So we can make a beak over here. And it's just like a little beak like this, if you could see it. You can make his eyeball right here. Makes a couple lines on his head that help us with his markings. Here we go. A couple triangles and a rectangle there around his eye. I'm going to make his necklaces around his neck. I'm just making some lines here around his neck. And then he has those black feathers are on his back. He had a couple black feathers on his back. Let's see if we can see those. You see those on that little baby. So we're going to put those in. Make a couple lines for that. And he needed some legs. And again, he has little knobby knees. So I'm going to put his little knobby knees in there. So cute. And his little toesies. And there we have the outline of our killdeer. He looks so great. I hope yours looks great too. I'm sure it does. So next we're going to color him in. So remember, a killdeer has brown feathers. He has black feathers. He has white feathers, but my paper is white, so I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to put him in some grass. So I have a green here to make some grass. So I'm going to color with brown, and I'm going to color his back. Color in his back feathers. So the last time I saw this bird was a couple of weeks ago. And we were out in the country with my family, and this bird was acting like his wing was broken, and my brother Mike was like, oh no, he's hurt. And he tried to follow him, and the bird just kept on going, and Mike was like, I don't understand why he acts like his feather, his wing is broken, but he won't let me help him, and he keeps hopping away, and then he flies away, and so now I don't know if it's hurt or not. And then I got to thinking, I was like, I've seen a bird like this one time. And then I said, oh, he's probably protecting his nest. Because I looked over, and him and another bird that looked just like him were back over in the same area on this gravel drive. And so I got to thinking, there's a nest over there. We're going to color his markings on his head. So the rectangle here that we drew is brown. And then one of these triangles up at the top is brown. And I got to get his back part of his feathers. So I got to looking around in the gravel parking lot, and I found his nest. It was really hard to see. I don't have a picture of it for this video, but I can post a picture of it on our Facebook page so you can see it. But there were 4 little baby eggs in it. It was so cute. So I colored in his wing with brown. I'm going to come in here and color his markings black, where they are black. Right there, get his necklaces, so he looks really fashionable. Layering those necklaces. Whoop, got out of line, but that's okay. No big deal. And color his beak because he has black beak. All right, he is ready. And because I don't just want him floating in space, I'm gonna make some grass here at the bottom. And that's where he's at. He's just hanging out in the grass, having a wonderful time. Get some grass sticking up here. And I'm going to sign it at the bottom because I'm pretty proud of this work. So I'm just going to write Tish. So, and there we have it. My drawing of a killdeer. I hope that you practice drawing a picture of a killdeer too. And you can take a picture of it and you can email it to me at this email address, makingstuffwithstuff@gmail.com. I would love to see any drawings you make. And if you go out and look at birds sometime this week, perhaps you could take a couple pictures and you can send those too, because I would love to hear about any of the birds that you find when you're outside playing or going for a walk or just enjoying the nice weather. I hope you tune in on Wednesday for our next episode where we're going to do a craft using cardboard. So you can go to your house, look around, try to find a cardboard box because we're going to need it. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. See you guys. Bye.